Welcome to another episode of 5-minute Inspiration. I'm Mindy Allen. Today I'm coming to you to ask you a question. What are your expectations? I'm coming from 2 Kings chapter 3, 16 and 17. When you get a chance, read the chapter, not just the chapter, but the whole Bible. But a little background on the chapter. Moab had just rebelled against Israel. So the king of Israel went to Edom and Judah to speak to their king to come up with a 7-day journey to overtake Moab. But on the journey, there was no water for them and no water for their cattle. So one of the kings remembered Prophet Elijah. He remembered Prophet Elijah pouring water into Prophet Elijah's hand. So he sought Prophet Elijah. Elijah began to seek God. And God told Elijah to make the valley full of ditches. Ye shall see no wind, ye shall see no rain. But yet the valley shall be filled with water. And it came to pass that morning, by the way of Edom, that water filled the country. I can only imagine Prophet Elijah speaking to the men about digging ditches in the middle of the desert. It's hot, they're thirsty, and the land is dry. But yet they're told to dig ditches. Let's be honest, how many of us could have really did that command in the heat? But God wants us to prepare for our blessings. He wants us to show up. He wants us to listen to Him, have expectations of what He has put in our heart and in our mind. Oftentimes, God gives us do something that may or may not make sense at the moment, but it's for our good, for our future. We often make our blessings little because the little preparation and expectation that we have asked. God wants us to have more than our immediate need. He wants us to have more. He said He came so we can have life and have life more abundantly. We always want the right now blessings. I can imagine a time when I felt like in my valley it was a drought. Being a single parent has to be the most hardest job on the planet. But during that time, I felt like I was in a drought. It was hard work. It was unpleasant, but it was doable. It was necessary. It was essential to and vital to my life, not to my life, but my kids' life and my future husband's life at the time. I had to go through that drought so I could be filled for a helpmate for my husband, filled for the helpmate for my kids. Often we don't like the unpleasant. We don't like the hard work. We don't like the challenge. But in those moments, those crushing moments are the moments where God can fill us when we're empty. That's when we're best. That's when God are best in our life, when we're empty. I can think about what if the men didn't dig the ditches? Because the water was only available from their behavior of being obedient to dig the ditches. How often or God gave us a task to do that we wasn't disobedient on? That we didn't get the answer that we prayed for because our obedience wasn't there? How often? I asked this question, and I'm going to go because my 5 minutes almost up. But what are some things that God placed in your life that's essential and vital for you? What are the ditches He's telling you to dig that you're not digging? What is it that God wants you to do, but you're so caught up in your current situation. You're so caught up being hot. You're so caught up being tired. You're so caught up being desperate. You're so caught up being depressed. You're so caught up being who you want to be and not who God called you to be. It's time to dig, y'all. Dig those ditches, because water is promised to you. It's promised to you once you be obedient. Be obedient to what God called you to be. I'm not saying it's going to be hard, because God said that He will give us trials and tribulations. But He promised that He'll never leave or forsake us. So we stay our mind stayed up on what God promised us and not our current situation. Oh, how easy life would be. That's my time. I hope this word be a blessing to you and to whoever is listening. May God bless you and may God keep you. And you have a blessed day.